thoughts be deep, that's why I can't sleep. Scared to tell them what's going on, I need some therapy. They gon' know it's me, all over these beats. I'm giving it all I got, I'ma leave my legacy. My thoughts be running wild, I don't know what the fuck to do. If I was to tell you something, could I put my trust in you? And if you tell somebody, I'ma have to cut you loose. Feeling like CP up in this bitch, I'm chucking up my deuces.
Namaste, beautiful people. And I hope your weekday is going well. Today we're gonna start off with a little bit of veg news, like what went on this particular week that I listened to or saw or got into. So, Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco can't get Keith Lee off their minds. Well, more Ocho Cinco than Shannon Sharp. If you haven't heard it, you really gotta go to YouTube and check out their show. But Ocho Cinco said that Keith Lee wasn't qualified to be a food critic, and that got me to thinking, what are my qualifications for being a food reviewer, food critic, influencer, what have you? And mine's is simple. I've been in the restaurant business since I was a wee lad. No, since I was in high school. Well, before I was in high school, my grandparents owned a restaurant. I helped, I cooked, I cleaned, I did the register, the whole nine. I worked in food service from then until they retired. Until they retired, they closed the restaurant, and I spent another 2-3 years at KFC. Three different KFCs, all owned by the same guy, which is crazy. There was one down where my grandparents stayed at, and another two in Atlanta. They lived down in Milledgeville, Georgia. So so when I moved back to Atlanta, I worked in both of his restaurants, which neither are there now, but that was interesting. But yeah, I've been in the kitchen and around food for a while. My thing is, I got burned out I kind of got burned out on cooking because of that. And while I can cook, I can do a little something in the kitchen, whip up something. I like being on this side of things better because of that background, if that makes any sense. Like I always say that I like to be the vegan Anthony Bourdain, and I was just impressed with what he was doing, going around to different places and different areas, different countries, and tasting new and different food. I think that'd be awesome to do that as a vegan. I know probably one or two people out there are doing that, but I just thought it was awesome. I didn't know other people was doing it until I decided I wanted to do something like that. But here we are. So the only thing I can do is do it better. But yeah, man, folks could not get that man off his mind. Keith Lee came to Atlanta and just made everybody make a video. On to other news. Queen Latifah has done a commercial for milk, and it's kind of funny because I know a lot of athletes do milk commercials, but I kind of wasn't expecting her per se to do that. It was very, very interesting thing. Let's see if I can play this for y'all. Let's see if it'll play. Hold on.
But recently, dairy deniers all over America are subjecting them to milk shaming. Just listen to these stories.
I'm on a first date. Everything's going good. I asked the waiter for some milk to go with my chocolate lava cake, and my date just left. And when the milk finally came to the table, she came back and threw it in my face.
Poor guy.
It was my turn to bring the snacks for my kids' baseball game. Who doesn't love a little chocolate milk, right? Apparently the mom in the coach. Now my son is playing second outfield, which is a parking lot behind a fence. I've been trying to keep his spirits up.
Look what's coming your way. Hey, look, bud. Look what your ball's coming your way. How about that? Huh?
But it's tough.
I was running for city council until the local paper printed a picture of me for my college yearbook chugging milk at a frat party. Let's go! Don't use any of that.
So next time you're about to shame someone for drinking milk, think about them And also this lady, maybe this little kitten. Don't they matter? If you've been a victim of milk shaming, call the number on your screen. Together we can pour milk shaming down the drain.
It's a got milk commercial. It is kind of hilarious because the dairy industry is not happy that most people are drinking alternatives. And the sad thing is alternatives are just better because one, it tastes better. Two, it doesn't give you that phlegm. You're not spitting phlegm out every 5 seconds soon as you do it, or you don't have to run to the bathroom, or if you're intolerant of dairy, it doesn't give you the bubble guts. Yeah, the dairy industry is not happy. They wasn't even happy about you calling it milk in the first place. And I know my friends will come on here and tell you that, oh well, it's not milk because it came from a nut. Well, if you smashed it enough and milk came out of it, bottom line, milk is for babies and baby cows, not for adults. Adults are the only species, I should say, that drinks milk after infancy. It's Googleable, so you can Google it if you think I'm lying. I stopped drinking milk way before I was even thought about going vegan. So, yeah. Again, like I said in my previous one, all they had was rice dream back then. It just tastes like watery. that milk you used to have to do the powder with back in the day. I don't know if y'all remember that. You used to take milk powder and add water to it to make milk. That's what rice dream used to taste like. Yeah. But anyways, our sip of the day per barnivore.com is the lychee soju. If you haven't had soju, it's like a Japanese wine, grape wine. Is it grapes or yeah? Yeah, so it's yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Kind of tasty. And today's topic is water or water. That high quality H2O. Yeah. Most of my, well, a good plethora of my friends call me a water snob because I am. I don't think I drank water for maybe, I know I went a good year or two without drinking any water at all. Not in a restaurant, not out of a hose, nothing. And that all started after my mom got gallstones. The doctor told her gallstones came from drinking tap water. Now, they didn't tell us how to fix that. They didn't say drink bottled water or nothing like that. But after that, I just didn't drink water anymore. You name it, I drank it. I was drinking sodas, tea. When I thought I was drinking too much soda, I started drinking tea and juices, which was just as bad because it's just a bunch of sugar. And then I found a water called Penta. I think somebody let me have a taste of it, and it was the best thing ever. I was like, what? I didn't know water could taste this good. But then again, I haven't had water in like over a year, so. But that stuff is expensive as I don't know what. But it was good, and I was buying it. And it was good, and I bought it. And then I moved on to other waters and what tastes good. Then I moved into the alkaline stuff because I thought that was doing something. And natural alkaline water is, but there are other waters that are not naturally alkaline. And so, yeah, I actually have a full list. But what was crazy for me, I was scrolling on the IGs as one does, and Instagram, and I came across a water sommelier. Now I've heard of a wine sommelier, but not a water one, and I was impressed because I thought I was the water snobbiest of them all, but apparently there is somebody higher. There's a hierarchy of this, and I did not know that. So a sommelier, a water sommelier, is a water expert who is trained to taste, evaluate, and educate people on the qualities of water from around the world. There are only about 100 water sommeliers in the world. And the one I saw on Instagram was a guy named Martin Reese. I hope I'm saying his last name right. And I hope he can come on the show one day. That would be pretty awesome. But he took it to I'm thinking I'm doing something with the pH levels and everything like that. And he broke it down even deeper than that. And I was like, whoa. So, while I can't do that because I'm not a water sommelier just yet, my qualifications for water that I like to drink is 1, taste, and 2, is it natural? But mainly taste, because I realize that I won't drink water that doesn't taste good. Like, people love Evian. It's good water. It's natural. I can't stand it. It just tastes horrible to me. I don't know what it is. I'll drink it if I have to, but I won't like it. If you drink Aquafina water, you are not to be trusted. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. You cannot be trusted if you drink Aquafina water. But anyway, let's get into my little list here. I have my list goes from full alkaline, naturally alkaline, to a high pH or normal pH that tastes good, but it's not natural. And this is not any this is not in any particular order. So you've got Natural Springs, Mountain Valley, you got Eternal, you got Icelandic, you have Sea Force, and the one from Hawaii, Waiakea. That's the one you find at most convenience stores, and Icelandic, you can find that from time to time too. Aquapana, which is really good, and ironically, my sister turned me on to that water, and I was not on the lookout for it, but that's some dang good water. Like, almost better than Mountain Valley. Almost. Well, no, it is. And then you have Liquid Death, which is mountain water. But for Liquid Death, like, I don't even like to drink water cold for some reason. But Liquid Death, I really like cold. I like water to be room temperature. But that Liquid Death is pretty good. Their flavors are, I wouldn't say strong. They're very the flavors they have are just barely flavorful enough for you to know there's something there, but it's not an overpowering flavor or anything. And then the last one on that list is the Fiji, and Fiji is a 7.5 pH. But as the water sommelier says, you're not supposed to go by the pH. I do because that's just me. Yeah, so the high pH that tastes good but not natural, which is the Aqua Hydrate, Evermore, Essentia, and the Penta that I just talked about that tastes good as hell. And all those waters taste pretty good too, especially the Aqua Hydrate. All those waters taste good. It's just not a naturally alkaline water. They add something to it to make it alkaline. I did not know that when I first started drinking that, but as you grow and know things you like, you find out things later on down the road that you just gotta adjust. But yeah. So anyway, answers, questions, all that good stuff. Any water questions you got going on? Leave something in the comments. Let me know what you think about my list. And if you drink water, or just water is just water to you, water is not just water to me. Ironically, that's something that Mr. Reese says, but I agree with him. Water is not just water. I remember one time I gave a friend of mine some water, and I was like, "Here, taste this, because it's like the best water ever." And she was like, "It tastes like water." I'm like, "Wait a minute. You don't taste the difference between that and tap water?" She's like, "No, it just tastes like water." I'm like, "I thought that was the weirdest thing ever." What do you say about that? If you can't tell the difference between what you get out your tap and bottled water in a glass, mind you, something's wrong with your taste buds. I mean, just like, let's be real about that. I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, some people just can't be trusted. Anyone that drinks tap water, well, I should say this, depending on where you are. The best tap water in Georgia, in my opinion, because that's where I reside right now, is in Johns Creek. Hands down. I got tap water at a restaurant one time, and I could have swore to you it was bottled water. And the manager came out, and I asked him, because the waitress told us it was just some kind of special bottled water. So when the manager came over and asked us if everything was all right, I told him, I said, I asked him if this was some kind of special bottled water. He was like, no, it's from the tap. I was like, you're kidding. He was like, no, it's right from the tap. All we do is put it in the thing and put it in a carafe, one of those carafe things to pour water. And yeah, they poured the water like it was wine too. That was pretty awesome. But yeah, he was like, it's tap water. He was like, it's funny because you're like the third. He was like, I was like the second or third person to ask about the water, and I'm like, okay. Which brings me to another thing. Some guy at the Home Depot was doing some water survey, and my roommate said he's the guy you need to talk to. Well, he starts asking me about water, and I tell him a few things, and I think he was wanting to know who had the best tap water around, and I told him. He was not happy about that. I did not win whatever that thing was they was trying to pin off, but who cares? I can only tell you the truth and what's in my opinion and what's the truth as far as I know it, and it can change. But like I say, man, leave your comments and all that kind of stuff down there. Let me know what you want to hear. I'll try to get more veg news stuff going and things like that. Try to stay updated and whatnot. But, oh yeah. On to, this is the segment I like to call Smoke Stories. So, I had a couple of the folks from Reddit, the high vegans from Reddit, send in their smoke stories. And I got a couple. So if I don't have nothing to talk about as far as CBD or an interview with what's going on with the legalization here, or me being in another legal state and doing what I want to do, if the stories come, I will read them as they come. Yeah. So with this one is from a man Dame. And so it starts off with so I was pretty new to smoking, and my buddy invited me over to sesh with him. And I'm our mutual bud. I get to my butt, hold on, I gotta start this over again. So I was pretty new to smoking, and my buddy invited me over to sesh with him and our mutual bud. I got to my buddy's house, let's call him S, and find that they had already down some shrooms and were packing the bomb. I never ripped a bomb before, so I was embarrassed and didn't want to look dumb. This meant I watched S take a rip and thought, cool, I'ma just copy that. Unfortunately, one, what we were smoking was not actually herb, it was salvia. And two, I took the fattest bong rip of my life as my first ever hit. Immediately, my throat and lungs is on fire. I'm coughing for about 2 minutes straight, to the point I can't even open my eyes from watering, stinging, can't breathe from coughing. I remember croaking out a whimper of water and had a bottle to thrust into my hands. I chugged the thing, but had this immense feeling like I was going to pass out. After I got my coughing down to a less intense fit, I said, I think I'm going to go to the bathroom. Stood up and was at the door without even being aware I moved. Now to preface, S's bathroom was directly next to their room, but when I opened the door and stepped foot in the hallway, it and the bathroom started stretching further and further away. I stumbled into the wall until I found the door. Once in, all I could think was, I'm dying. I'm dying. I looked at my hands and they were bluish. I feebly got up to look in the mirror and I looked actually dead. Dang, man. My skin was white, my lips were blue, and I couldn't concentrate on what I looked like. I turned on the faucet and plunged my hands under. It felt like heavy silk on my skin, not like liquid. I couldn't feel the temperature or the wetness. I was shaking intensely and felt insanely lightheaded, so I sat on the edge of the tub. Boom, blackness and eternity started the momentum as I hit the plastic. I felt time stop, and I ceased to exist outside of darkness. After what felt like an actual eternity, there were knocks on the door. When I opened my eyes, I saw the words S was saying to appear over the door. Are you okay? I'm fine, I hoarsely replied. When I managed to make it back to their room hours later, in reality, it was probably like 30 minutes, S was tripping and having a grand old time. Our other friend, C, looked to be having a shitty time like me. I looked at him and said, I'm having the worst high of my life. He said, dude, me too. Then got interrupted by S doing dolphin noises. Safe to say, I'm never touching salvia again. Okay, this is definitely a cautionary tale. And for those that don't know what salvia is, it is not weed, it is not CBD, it is not THC. It is not anything that you need to be smoking ever. It is potpourri. That yeah, it's potpourri if I'm being real. At least the first time I saw it, that's what it looked like. That's what it smelled like. And somebody was like, here, smoke this. I was like, why would I smoke potpourri? But hey, lesson learned. Wow, that's crazy. Ooh. Yeah, definitely a cautionary tale. So don't do Sylvia, boys and girls, if that's even still a thing. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. Cause wasn't somewhere in Florida somebody ripped ate somebody's face off or something like that on that stuff? That's that is not no ways nothing you should be ever trying. But with that, we have come to the end of the show. Hope you enjoyed. Like, sub, all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below. And I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.